In this short movie we're going to look at how some of the components have been modelled for Project Hollycroft. Here you can see an example of the entrance with its elaborate design. This has been created in ArchiCAD using various components, some of the standard items like roofs, walls, slabs, etc., but then some of these elements have been changed into morphs to allow us to create these more intricate mouldings and carvings. The first actual component we'll look at is one of the chimney items. Here we can see the end product, and you can see it's made up with a stacked design at the base. There are some details that are slightly enlarged and it steps out at the top. To give you an idea how this is created, I've got these three items here, and these are going to be used to produce the overall end result. Most of the work is done in 3D, and I'm actually going to start off with this wall item. Right now this is a wall, but in order to elaborate the design further, what I'm going to have to do is right click on it and convert it to a morph. Now that this has been created as a morph, what I can do is actually choose to modify one of the faces. By selecting the face, what I'll do is draw a polyline to create the new design. And all I'm doing here is just typing in some dimensions, in this case exaggerating it, so it's 250, 250 high and 100 wide. So you can see I've created this stepped effect on this face. What I can then do is select just this individual face, choose to finish the polyline editing, and then move to the push-pull tool, which allows me to either produce this extruded this way or push backwards and effectively remove that whole segment. Once this has been done, I can select these individual edges and elaborate the design further. To create the stepped effects, what I'll do is move these items back into place. Right now these two items are still slabs, but what I'll do is also convert them to morph elements. And once they've been converted into a morph, what I can actually do is select all three items and then create a union based on those components. This then leaves me with one morph item to make up the chimney stack. This can then be further elaborated to add in the chimney pots and the other details. The next item I'm going to look at is a custom door panel. This is an actual photograph of the door from the real project. You can see it's very much bespoke to this project. What I have alongside here are a number of slabs. There's actually 22 slabs here right now, and these are used to make up and create a custom door panel. In the 3D window I've got these items selected, and what you'll see is each one's an individual slab, and this is to make up the individual panels within the door itself. If I zoom in close, you can see here we have an item of glass, then there's some moulding to hold the glass in place, and then we have the main frame of the door itself. And we have all the main details including the letterbox. This has been modelled using slab items to create this general shape. Once this is modelled to the level of detail we require, we can simply select it, 2D or 3D, and we can save this as a custom door leaf. So we'll choose to put it in an embedded library, and we'll just call it entrance door panel. It's also a good idea to put in the size here, which makes it easier to then fit it into a door further down the line. This just tells me it's been created. I'll drop back to 2D and select this door that's been handily placed in this wall. What I can do with it is go into its settings, and if we switch to door leaf, type and handle, in here I'm actually able to select this custom panel that I've created. Obviously if there was more panels there would be further choice, but once this has been done I can hit OK. I can now select this wall, which is also going to show the door, have a look in 3D, and we can see we have a custom door panel. I have to spend a little bit more time correcting the frame and all the other details, but essentially we have the door panel which matches the in situ item. I can even choose to show the door is open. But by using this process of using a custom panel, I still have access to all the other standard parameters that are available to make our doors parametric and flexible. Right down to providing details of costs, manufacturers, locations, and whatever other parameters we need. final item to look at here is the Reg Tail, and this has been created using what's called a complex profile. This image here shows the profile that's used within the Hollycroft model, and down here we have a section of the profile available in this particular project. In 3D you can see it's very much linear, but the actual example in Hollycroft, it has a rounded top to it. So what I was going to look at was how we can modify this shape. To do this I'm going to use the Profile Manager. I'll select the profile that's used here and choose to edit it. This is now a 2D sectional view of the profile that's in use, and all I'm going to do is modify its shape to give it a rounded top. So all I've done here is modify the shape to create this new profile. If I simply store this profile, it will overwrite and replace all the instances already placed, or what I could do is actually choose to duplicate and store as another name at this stage, but I'm just going to store and update. And if we close this down, allow the 3D to rebuild, you can see the profile's now been updated to show this change.